Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Building You podcast. If you're new here, my name is Aza. I am the host of Building You. It is so nice to meet you. And if you are coming back, welcome back. I'm so happy to have you here. Yeah, this is episode 11. I cannot believe it. We're switching things up again today. If you're a reoccurring listener, you will know that I seem to be switching things up every single episode. But that's because we're new here. We're starting out. And I mean, the whole premise of this podcast is just growth. And I'm not ashamed to admit that I am figuring things out as I go. And today we're doing audio only. Today we're doing audio only for two reasons. The main reason, I am not feeling myself today, and that's what most of this episode is going to be about. But miraculously, the universe also crashed my recording system, so we are recording a voice memo, and I will edit it later. So it worked perfectly that I was already kind of leaning towards audio only today, and the universe said, let's confirm that. So here we are, audio only. I will most likely put captions over for video if you're watching on YouTube or if you want to watch the video version on Spotify. But yeah, you don't get to see my face today, but that's okay. You can go to Instagram if you really need to see it. Today we're talking about feeling lost, feeling displaced, and feeling disconnected with yourself. This is something that I've been struggling with the last couple weeks, if not the last couple months, honestly. I think that I've just been trying to push through it and not really identifying it, but if you've listened to my previous episodes, you know that that is not how we work here. And instead of continuing to snowball, I am putting my foot down today and I'm just acknowledging that I'm feeling this way. And if you are also feeling like you have lost touch with yourself, like something is off, but you just don't know what, things are just feeling meh all the time, then this episode is for you. And I'm so happy that you're here. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, I'm currently sitting in a parking lot and I'm watching all the cars go by. And whenever I'm sitting and observing, even if I'm distracted like I am now, like I'm talking to you guys, like to just take a moment and just watch. And I think that it's so beneficial because I'm seeing all of these cars go by and every single car is different. Some people have new cars, some people have old cars, some cars are dented, some are fancy and brand new, and some people are not driving too well, and some people are driving perfectly fine. And I think that just noticing all of the things that are going on around you is so beneficial because I think that as we tunnel through life and everything that goes on in our day-to-day, we forget that we are not alone and that there's so much happening at any given point. Someone just had their heart broken. Someone just lost a family member. Somebody just got in a car accident. Somebody just got really great news. Somebody just got engaged. Somebody just got, there's so much happening right now. And every single person that I'm watching drive by on the road is currently thinking about something different. Maybe they had a good day. Maybe they had a bad day. Maybe they're feeling the exact same way that I am. And just taking that second for me to pause and just watch all of these cars go by, it almost makes me feel more content with just feeling this way because I know it's temporary and I know that maybe somebody is watching me drive by and thinking the same way. I think that we get so caught up in our lives and so caught up in what we deem normal, whatever our routine may be, that we forget that life is both way bigger than we think and not as big as we think it is at all, which is such a broad term, but at the same time, it's true, isn't it? I mean, it's as big as we make it out to be. Our mistakes are as big as we make them out to be. Our emotions are as big as we make them out to be. Our wins, our fails, all of these things are as big as we make them out to be. And I think that I know I myself get caught up in these things and I put them on myself and I let them gain so much weight and put so much pressure on my shoulders until I get to this point like I have today and I put my foot down and I say, girl, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? What is the point of it all? What is the point of it all? And I don't say that to be depressing, like, oh, what's the point? I say that in like, what is the point of me being hard on myself? What is the point of me worrying about what I'm doing with my life? What is the point of me worrying about one bad day when most of them are actually good? I just need to open my eyes, right? I'm a firm believer that mindset is the most important thing that we have, and it is something that we can control. I can have nothing and choose to believe that I have everything, and I can have everything and choose to believe that I have nothing. And that is all in my head, and that is all within my control. No matter how much is in my bank account, no matter what country I'm in, no matter what's going on around me, I get to choose whether I think I have more than enough or whether I think I don't have enough. And I think, honestly, I've been slowly slipping these last couple weeks into thinking that I don't have enough, into thinking that I haven't done enough, into thinking that I don't do enough and I'm not meeting the milestones that I want to meet. And I'm sick of it. I'm gonna be honest. I'm getting sick and tired of my silly old self thinking this way. Because when I really stop to think and I really reflect, I am living a life that so many people would dream to have. That a year ago I dreamed that I would have. And that's not to sound superficial. That's not to sound overconfident and arrogant. I'm not trying to flaunt my life. I've worked really hard for this life. And honestly, I'm still in a really uncomfortable phase. But I need to acknowledge that everything's okay. Everything's okay. And for the most part, it's more than okay. And just because I'm in a somewhat good place now doesn't mean that I'm not allowed to have bad days. I don't need to feel like I'm selfish or I'm ungrateful for having bad days, even though I'm in a life that other people would want to have, you know? No matter where we are, whether you're a millionaire or you're a business owner or you are a stay-at-home parent with 3 healthy children, no matter where you are, someone is dreaming to be where you are. Someone is dreaming to have the things that you have, right? And that's something that we have to acknowledge. But we can also allow ourselves to feel displeased or disappointed in some things as well. That's okay. Because we're all at different stages and we all have different things to compare to, right? It's all circumstantial. It depends on where you come from. Somebody that has a lot more than me might look at me and be like, you haven't accomplished anything. And that's okay. And, you know, somebody that might have come from a war-torn country or had a worse off start to life might think that I've gotten really far away. It's all in perspective. And I need to look at myself from all of those different perspectives. And you do too. You need to look at yourself from all of those different perspectives. And just acknowledge how much you actually have. I started to sink into this weird mindset over the last couple weeks because I had committed for the entirety of 2025 to not buy anything new. And I don't mean just new. I mean like new to me, new everything. Because towards the end of 2024, I was looking at all the things that I had in my apartment and all the things that were in my storage unit. And I was just tired of all of this, pardon my French, shit in my possession. I was just tired of it all. And like a lot of it is stuff that I can't get rid of. Things that, you know, my spare tires, like tools and stuff that I can't get rid of because I'll inevitably have to rebuy someday. But I was just tired of all the things that I knew that I bought, trying to fill some void in myself. And I know that you've done that too. We've all been there. You're feeling insecure in your body. You want to buy new clothes and make yourself feel good. And that is so valid. You're feeling like things are boring. You want to buy yourself a new toy, something new and fresh and fun to play with, right? Or just something to make you feel good, whether that's something to put on your body or something to use in your day-to-day life. And that's so valid. But I'm watching all of these things pile up towards the end of 2024, and I'm going through my apartment and doing a little bit of a New Year's clean, and I was just tired of looking at all these things that are now worth nothing. And as somebody who's had a really tough go at it financially the last couple of years, I was like, are you serious? Like, you are sitting here crying over your broke self and you're thinking that you need to buy more things. And I'm looking around at all of these things. I'm like, you wasted your money. Long story long, I decided for 2025 to not buy anything new, to clear out all of my things, to the clothes that I actually enjoyed, to the utilities that I actually use, right? And everything that I don't reach for in my day-to-day life or that I won't need in an emergency had to go. And I did that. I got rid of a lot of stuff. And for the last 5 months, I have not bought anything new. I did end up this past week buying a couple things to replace some pieces in my wardrobe that went missing after I'd already cleared everything out. I had 1 pair of black shorts and 1 pair of camo shorts that I really, really enjoyed, and the black shorts went missing. So I looked in my area to see if I could buy any that were already here so I wouldn't have to ship it, but nobody was selling anything that I wanted in my size, so I bit the bullet and ordered online. And then I did buy a zip up that was very similar to another one that I had that went missing, so it did kind of fit into my guidelines that I set for myself. I told myself in the beginning of the year, do not buy anything new. However, if anything that you have chosen to keep for the entire year goes missing or gets stained or rips or anything, I can replace it. But let me tell you, when I purchased these items after not buying anything, it sent me into like an identity crisis, I swear to God. The lead up to this might seem so out of place and unnecessary. However, I needed to talk about it because I tend to take things too far with myself. And so when I told people in the beginning of the year that I was not going to buy anything for the entirety of 2025, I took that seriously. And like I said, for 5 months, I didn't buy anything new for myself. I bought gifts for friends and some things for around the house that I actually needed, but I did not buy anything new, and I was really proud of that. And then even though when I bought these pieces, even though they were in my guidelines and I knew that I wanted to replace some things that I had lost, which, by the way, how the heck do you lose a pair of shorts? I don't get it. I understand how I lost a hoodie or a zip up, but I don't understand how I lost a pair of shorts. That is just beyond me. That is something that I feel like only I could do. I really don't know how I did that. But when I bought these things, it sent me into such a spiral and such an identity crisis, because I was like, who am I? I was committed to not buying anything. Like, I can't believe I just wasted the money. And this was a reminder to myself that I don't need to take all of this stuff so seriously. Like, okay, you set up a fun little challenge for yourself for 2025, and you are still following it, and you are crushing it, dare I say, and you're saving lots of money, and you're getting serious about the things that you have and the things that you need and the things that you want and the things that you appreciate. And just because you spent a little bit of money to replace some items that made you feel good about yourself, you're going to be hard on yourself, right? And when I fail at things, or when I throw the towel in and switch things up, I get really hard on myself. Even during the course of this podcast, like when I went down to 2 episodes a month instead of an episode every week, I was really bummed about that, because I had to admit a certain sense of defeat to myself. I had to admit that I was not capable of keeping up a weekly episode, and that was a bummer, right? And I was sitting there looking at my order receipt from these freaking shorts, and I was like, who are you? Are you a quitter? Are you a quitter? Are you giving in? What are you going to do next week? Are you going to go to the mall and buy a bunch of other stuff you don't need? And I think that this was just really, really contributing to how I was already feeling out of place with myself. And I'm really happy that today I'm sitting down and having this conversation with you guys, and I'm shutting that down. And I need to say to you as well, to whoever is listening to this right now, you. Do you find yourself doing this to yourself as well? Do you find yourself being way too hard on yourself and so unforgiving? So unforgiving. It might not be in the same situation as like what I'm saying, like how I committed to a no spend year, but maybe you committed to learning a new thing and you haven't practiced in a week. Are you gonna throw in the towel because you didn't practice the whole week? Are you speaking badly to yourself because you didn't practice the whole week? Because today we're talking about losing sense of yourself and kind of losing your self-identity and just feeling disconnected with who you are. Self-trust is a huge part of it, and speaking negatively to yourself absolutely obliterates your self-trust. To put it into perspective, if you were to make a friend and you're having coffee with that friend and they look at you and they're like, why would you order that? Why would you order that? You don't deserve to have that. There's so many calories in that. And it costs so much more than just a regular coffee. Why would you order that coffee? So stupid. Maybe you should order a different coffee sometime. Maybe I should have put a trigger warning, because that triggered me even just saying that. But would you want to go back for coffee with that person? You'd probably be like, yo, this person is so mean. Like, let me drink my coffee in peace. Are you going to be that person to yourself? Are you going to be the person sitting at the other side of the table at that cafe, absolutely ripping you apart over your choices, over the things that you enjoy, over, yeah, maybe you did make a mistake. I've definitely ordered a coffee that I'm like, that was a waste of money. Honestly, it wasn't as good as I thought it would have been. Maybe I should just stick to this, you know? So what? Move on. Who cares? Now you know. Don't be all woe is me. Don't be the person sitting at the other side of the coffee table absolutely grilling you over your choices. Because here's the thing. Self-trust relies on self-compassion, and it also relies on agency. If you don't trust your own choices, if you don't trust your own decisions, you're losing yourself. You're losing yourself. And I used to think that I was such an indecisive person. And I can be indecisive. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know what I want to eat for dinner. I'm like craving a bunch of different things, right? But I'm now realizing at my almost 23-year-old years of age, I'm realizing that all of those years I thought that I was indecisive, I just didn't trust myself. I didn't trust myself, and I also didn't feel like I was in a safe relationship or a safe friendship or just a safe environment to like truly stand up for what I wanted or even suggest what I wanted, right? And so when you're in these positions and you're trying to choose something for yourself and you're like, I don't know. You need to choose. You need to choose what you really want. And when you first start doing this, again, when you start to prioritize your own choices, when you start to prioritize your agency, it's going to feel awful. It's going to feel awful, and you're going to convince yourself that you're selfish, right? And you might make mistakes. You might choose the wrong things because you're so laser focused on just choosing something. And when you make that mistake, I need you to be kind to yourself. I need you to be kind to yourself, because this is the exact mistake that I've been making over the last couple weeks. I've had a really weird month in that everything is truly amazing. Everything with my partner is really good. Everything with my friends are really good. Everything in my life is really good. But for some reason, I switched mentally, and it just doesn't seem like enough. And that's really sad. And I feel like the reason that it's not enough is because I'm not enough, right? I feel like some of you guys can relate. And I'm sitting here and all of my moments to myself, driving to work, waiting in line, And I'm just thinking, where did I go wrong? What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? Why did I do that? How did I choose to do that? Why did I go left instead of right? Why did I do this? And I'm sitting here being so hard on myself. When in actuality, I am where I am in my life right now because I chose this. And I chose everything along the step of the way. And deep down, I know I chose the right things. I am a healthier person now. 90% of the time, I am incredibly happy. But I'm sitting here and I'm grilling my own life choices. I'm grilling my own choices, big and small. Career choices. I'm grilling myself for choosing what to meal prep. I'm like, this is not that great. Why did I prep this to make for the whole week? Whatever. I need to learn how to let these mistakes go. And just learn from them. Just learn from them. I don't know if when you were a child, you had a parent or a family member who every time you would mess up would just lecture you, you know? And even though there might still be a small sense of respect there, like as a child to a parent or a child to an older sibling or whatever that relationship may be, even though you may still respect them, after a while, you just don't want to listen anymore, right? You're just like, yeah, nothing I do is ever right, right? And that's when teenagers normally start to rebel. You're creating that relationship with yourself when you're continuously bringing yourself down, when you're continuously overanalyzing everything that you do. And I don't want to do that to myself anymore. I don't want to do myself like that, because at the end of the day, when I turn the lights off at the end of the night and I'm brushing my teeth and I'm looking in the mirror, I probably turn the lights off after that, actually. I probably wouldn't brush my teeth in the dark. I need to be able to look at myself and see a friend. And the things that I have been doing to myself in the last couple weeks have not been setting myself up for that. I'll give you some examples of some things that I feel like that I have been doing poorly for myself over the last couple weeks. I just want to put it out there. I am not grilling myself right now. This is completely out of love to myself. I'm not sitting here going over my mistakes and being angry at myself. I am doing this with compassion to myself, and I'm doing this so that I can just learn and acknowledge, and I can go into tomorrow with a more level head and do better for myself. Some things over the last couple weeks that I've not been doing well. I've been going to sleep at night without washing my face. I know, gross. And as a person who struggled really bad with hormonal cystic acne over the last couple years, this is not cool, because I'm looking in the rear view mirror of my car right now as I sit in this parking lot and talk to my phone, and my skin is flaring up. Because even though I don't really wear a lot of makeup day to day, it's mostly just like moisturizer and skincare products, there's things on my face that I should wash off. But the end of the day comes and I am so tired and so drained. And to be honest with you, I just don't want to look at myself in the mirror for that long. And I don't wash my face and I just go to bed. And I'm not mad at myself. It's okay. It happens, you know. You fall off the track sometimes. You stop taking care of yourself sometimes. But now I'm looking in the mirror and I'm seeing my skin flare up and I don't feel great, which is most of the reason why we are doing a voice memo today, while we were doing audio only today, because I didn't even want to do a podcast this week because of how bad I felt about myself, which is crazy, right? Like, I would stop being consistent because I think that my skin looks bad. I would stop being consistent because I don't want to stare into a camera, because I have set myself up to feel like this at this point. No, I want to keep showing up for you guys, because I know that if I chose to not do a podcast at all, I would feel even worse about myself. So we're still here, right? But we just found a happy medium, so I don't have to look at my face for an hour while I talk to you. Because honestly, mentally, I just can't do that right now. And that's okay, right? So I have not been washing my face. I have not been eating the best. I've been eating pretty well in terms of like what I'm eating. I like to think that for the most part, even when I'm struggling mentally, I do tend to gravitate towards more foods with a high nutrition value, which is a blessing. Like, I tend to not crave foods that are quote unquote bad for me. I'm still eating my greens. I'm still eating a decent amount of protein, but I have been eating really inconsistently and almost overeating. The last couple months, I've been intentionally eating a bit more, trying to put on a little bit more muscle. Not really bulking, I wouldn't say. I'm not tracking my calories. I'm just eating as much as I need to get more than enough protein in. But at the same time, my training level has gone down because I've just been kind of bored. And so I'm training a little bit less. Not less, but my intensity has definitely gone down because my heart's just not in it right now. And then at the same time, I have conditioned myself to now be eating more. So I'm left in this position now where I'm intaking way more calories than I'm burning daily. And obviously my body is changing. I'm putting on muscle, but I'm also putting on extra body fat. I'm not feeling great, man. I'm not feeling great. And to any of my other gym goers, like, you know how it feels when you're bulking and you're putting on extra mass and you just, like, the body dysmorphia is so real. It's so real. And I'm a personal trainer. I'm surrounded by people consistently bettering themselves, and I think it's a beautiful thing. And when I look at my clients, I don't see their body size. I don't look around at my friends and look at their body the way that I look at my body. But that's just how we are, right? We look in the mirror and we see things that other people do not see, right? This is something that I will continue to do. I will continue to be eating a surplus to put on muscle because I want to put on muscle, and I will just accept that body fat does come with muscle mass. That's okay. And just be kinder to myself, because I know that I'm doing my best, even if my best isn't really my best right now. You know how they say, like, 40% is still 100% if you only have 40% to give today? That's been playing in my mind so much recently, because some days I do only have 40% to give, and some days I do only have 20% to give, and that's okay. We don't have to show up 100% every single day. It's not possible. We're human beings. We're not freaking robots. Allow yourself to have those days where you're just not 100%. But you need to allow yourself to have that day and then let it go. Holding on to it and waking up the next morning and being like, yesterday was garbage, I need to do better today. That's not necessarily going to push you to be better today. You need to allow yourself space to breathe. Get up. Wash your face. Don't take any pictures of yourself today. That's okay. That's another thing I was going to get to, is that since my online presence continues to grow, I'm constantly feeling the need to video myself and take photos of myself. And that's something that I'm not going to stop doing, because I love who I connect with on social media. I love all the aspects of my community and my page, and I will continue to show up for you guys. However, I do have to acknowledge the toll that it takes on you mentally, because between filming the content and then sitting there and editing all the content and looking at yourself from all different angles and looking at what outfit you chose to wear that day, looking at how bloated you were, looking at all of these things, my skin flaring up, blah, 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 blah. It's like I am just sitting there and I am picking myself apart. And it's not okay. It's not okay. If you're doing this, I need you to take a second with me right now. And I want us to breathe in and out. In the nose, out the mouth. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. This is not going to be an ASMR channel. If you liked that, I'm sorry. That will be the last time that I'm doing that. We're taking this deep breath because we are creating that space for ourselves. We are slowing ourselves down. We are giving our body air intentionally. Basic survival. We're just slowing down. Through all of this conversation today, through all of my rambling over the body dysmorphia, me being on audio only because my skin is flaring up and I feel very self-conscious about it. If we're talking about how we're being too hard on ourselves and how I had a whole identity crisis over the fact that I bought a pair of shorts to replace another pair of shorts. All of these things. What is the foundation of it? The foundation is me being too hard on myself, me being mean to myself, me questioning my own choices and destroying my self-trust. And all of these are the ingredients that you want to put in a bowl if you want to bake a complete disconnection to your soul. If that's what you're trying to put in the oven, that's what you put in the bowl. And that's not what I'm trying to bake. I'm trying to bake nice, fluffy cakes and good, sweet treats. And you know what? Destroying my self-trust and my self-worth and my decisiveness, that's not going to get me anywhere. It's not going to get me anywhere. And it's not going to get you anywhere. So if you listening or someone that you know is feeling this way, feeling like you don't really know who you are right now, that maybe you're in a stage of growth where you have to readjust and relearn who you are and get to know your new personality, get to know your new interests, stop and breathe and acknowledge this position you're in. It's okay. We all get here sometimes. That's the point of growth. Sometimes we grow and we lose touch with ourselves, right? But if you're too hard on yourself, if you're mean to yourself, if you keep questioning yourself, you're not going to get anywhere. So this week, I will be washing my face before I go to bed. I will be kinder to myself, and we're going to be kind to ourselves going forward. And I'm excited to see how my mindset shifts this week. Send this to a friend if you think they need to hear it. And if you needed to hear this today, just know that I'm with you. I feel you. It's hard. And I got you. And we got each other. Thank you, as always, for spending this time with me. I really, really appreciate having you here. Join the newsletter. The link is in the description. We'll go over all of the fun things that we talk about in the podcast episodes and other fun things as well. And other than that, enjoy your week. It's a Monday. I hope you have a fresh start. I hope you choose yourself today. I hope you choose to love yourself today, even if it's hard. And I hope you have a fantastic week. And I'll see you next time on Building You Podcast.